For all the latest news in North Central Washington, go to ncwlife.com or find us on Facebook. Got a news tip? Email us at news@ncwlife.com or call 888-2020. Good Thursday evening and welcome to the NCW Life Evening News. I'm Grant Olson. Before we get to today's top news stories, let's take a quick look outside our weather window. And if you've seen our website or our Facebook page or maybe saw our breaking news earlier this afternoon here on the NCW Life channel, this is a live shot of a fire that's burning right now. It's in the Little Camas area between Blewett Pass and Cashmere. We have a lot more to tell you about with this fire coming up a little bit later on. But as far as our weather goes, it was a hot one out there today, which isn't helping much in fighting this fire with low humidities as well. Luckily, we are seeing light winds out there, which should help firefighting efforts for that fire. But high temperatures, look what a difference a couple of days makes. Just back on July 3rd on Tuesday, we were at 79 degrees. Today we could top off at 94, but look at some of those other temperatures. Spokane was at 68 today, 93 degrees. That's just 2 days later as an area of high pressure builds in briefly, bringing us this hot weather today, but will it last? We'll talk more about that coming up a little bit later on in your weather forecast. And now a few of the news stories we're following for you tonight. Fireworks determined to be the cause of a house fire in Ephrata yesterday. Fire officials report making great progress over the past couple of days and last night on the 85-acre Stormy Creek fire, which is now 100% contained. And the Northwest tree fruit industry finds itself in the role of pawn in the growing U.S. trade war with China. But first, we begin tonight. Firefighting crews are trying to control a 100-acre wildfire burning in the Little Camas area. The fire started around noon today in the mountainous terrain between Cashmere and Highway 97 Blewett Pass. Forest Service and Department of Natural Resource crews are making an initial attack on the ground and from the air. 3 helicopters and multiple ground resources were attacking the fire, with additional calls in for more aircraft support. The fire is burning in timber and slash. The blaze looks to be burning near the Camas Meadows Bible Camp, but at this time, no word on the direction the fire is taking or the cause of that fire. And please keep logging on to ncwlife.com tonight, as well as our Facebook page for all of the latest information on that Little Camas fire. Wenatchee celebrated the nation's birthday in grand fashion last night with a huge fireworks show at Walla Walla Point Park. NCW Life cameras were there to catch all the oohs and ahs. The patriotic scene was played out in other communities, including Manson and Brewster. Luckily, there were no reports of any fireworks-related fires in the Wenatchee Valley. Rivercom emergency dispatchers say it was quite a quiet evening, except for the sound of sporadic blasts of illegal fireworks. A fire did stir activity, though, for residents in the Entiat area. This video, provided to us by Michael S. Barboza Jr., shows the blaze just past the Entiat Bridge. According to officials, the fire was put out quickly with no losses. Not so lucky in Grant County, though. Fireworks was determined to be the cause of a house fire in Ephrata yesterday. Grant County Fire District 13 responded to a structure fire at L Street Northeast Wednesday afternoon. When crews arrived, a portion of the home was already fully involved. Fire officials remind residents that fireworks can be very destructive and fire spreads very rapidly. No residents were injured in the blaze, but unfortunately, a family pet did die in that fire. Well, fire officials report making great progress over the past couple of days and last night on the 85-acre Stormy Creek fire located 18 miles northwest of Entiat in an area of steep and rugged terrain. Incident Command reports this morning that the fire is now 100% contained. Although the fire has been fully contained, the public will still be contending with smoke in the air. This smoke will probably linger into the area for a relatively long period of time with calm to light winds in the weather forecast. The smoke is coming from stumps that are smoldering and they're unsafe to manage. Level 1 evacuations for around 50 to 60 homes has also been lifted. The forest is open for all recreation. Motorists are encouraged to use caution on the Entiat River Road due to the presence of firefighting apparatus and personnel leaving the area of the fire. Well, the Northwest tree fruit industry finds itself in the role of pawn in the growing U.S. trade war with China. What have up till now been threats of trade sanctions become a reality this weekend when Chinese tariffs on U.S. cherries goes into effect. Growers will be hit with a 25% tariff in addition to the 40% duty that was already being taxed. Senator Maria Cantwell proposed adding $6 million to the U.S. Farm Bill for export programs such as MAP to help open new overseas markets. She commented on that in a Senate floor speech last week.
Our ag economy is so important to us in the Pacific Northwest. This bill is helping us make a down payment on it and giving us a little flexibility, but I'm going to take the Secretary of Agriculture at his word today when I heard him on television saying he's going to mitigate any kind of damage being done to farmers based on tariffs. I'm going to hold him at his word, and believe me, as we move this legislation through the process, I'm going to make sure that every tool is available for the great products that we grow in Washington State. I want them to reach market destinations. I don't want them to be retaliated against in a trade war. Thank you, Madam President, and I yield the floor.
The Wenatchee World reports that Cantwell met recently with representatives of the tree fruit industry. In that meeting, it was reported that Stamilt Growers export sales manager Dave Martin said, quote, "There's only so many homes in the world where we can put out this crop. We can only sell so much of it here in the U.S. There are airplanes for China planned for Thursday, Friday, and Saturday this week." The Tuesday meeting with growers followed a tour of the Columbia Fruit Packers packing house. It was back in March that 4th District Congressman Dan Newhouse met with a group of growers in East Wenatchee to discuss trade issues along with other matters of concern to the ag industry here in north central Washington. Trade sanctions are also looming for Mexico and Canada as negotiations on a new North American Free Trade Agreement, or NAFTA, heat up. Well, it's time now for our weekly Canine Cameo feature from the Wenatchee Valley Humane Society. Today, NCW Life's Megan McPherson introduces us to Molly the dog.
Megan here with the NCW Life channel. We are here with Renee Parkins, the Development Officer of the Wenatchee Valley Humane Society, and we're also here with Molly, the dog. Can you tell us about Molly?
Sure. Molly is a younger dog. She is just sweet. She knows some basic general commands. She will sit, as you can see. She's very treat motivated and just overall all-around sweet dog. Molly.
And how is she with kids and other dogs?
Her paperwork says she is good with kids. Possibly with cats she might need some socialization, but she is good with kids. I think with dogs also she would be great with some socialization. She's pretty friendly. We've been watching her as the other dogs have been talking next door, and she seems to want to go play with them.
Yeah.
So.
And what kind of home life would she need?
So Molly will need a home that has an outdoor area for her. She needs to be outside. She does have some energy, so she isn't going to be a kind of dog you want to leave inside while you're gone or at work. She does need a family that is going to take her out for hikes and runs and things like that. So, hi Molly.
If someone wanted to adopt Molly, what are the steps they should take?
You should come down and meet Molly. That's always the first thing that we recommend. Just make sure that the dog's going to be the right fit for your family and your household. We do have some great adoption counselors who know the dogs pretty well and who can kind of help answer questions. And then from there, if that seems to be the good fit and Molly is the perfect dog for you in your house, then you just fill out the adoption paperwork and she can go home with you.
Awesome.
Molly, what do you have to say for yourself?
Good girl.
The Wenatchee Valley Humane Society is located at 1474 South Wenatchee Avenue and is open Monday through Friday from 11 a.m. to 6 p.m. and Saturday and Sunday from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. Give them a call at 509-662-9577 or visit their website at wenatcheehumane.org. This has been Kennel Cameos at the Wenatchee Valley Humane Society.
Thank you, Megan. Coming up next, following a 45-day closure to restore the pavement of the 22-year-old Methow Valley State Airport runway, it's now reopened. The voice of the Moses Lake Chiefs for the past 50 years, Mel Olson, has died at the age of 89. And Wenatchee attorney Charles Steinberg said he is the most qualified candidate for Chelan County Superior Court judge. NCW Life News Director Steve Hare talked to him this morning. I'm Grant Olson, and you're watching the NCW Life Evening News.
Oh, hey, Nate. What you doing there?
I'm just reading a book.
A book? I didn't even know they made those anymore. Where'd you get it?
Right down the street at Yield Bookshop.
Yield Bookshop. I'm gonna go check it out.
If you're looking for a good book to read or you're in the market for some beautiful handcrafted creations from local artisans, look no further than Yield Bookshop right in the heart of downtown Wenatchee.
It's a free walk-in job search assistance center. It is designed to help job seekers with the tools that they need to find a job. We have partnered with libraries in 5 other cities, providing the same types of services that we offer here, just there.
Just walk in, we have laptops, and we can help you with resume, cover letter.
All of our services are paid for by the revenues earned in our store. Goodwill is just a tool that the community is using to help their neighbors find a job. Goodwill, there's more behind the store.
With 15,000 square feet to explore, you'll find something special at the Antique Mall at Cashmere. For the do-it-yourselfers and those with a keen eye for making something old fresh and new again, the Antique Mall at Cashmere is the place to come find your next project. From the coin enthusiasts to avid collectors, Antique Mall at Cashmere has treasures in every corner. Come find your treasure today. Antique Mall at Cashmere's friendly staff is here to help. Stop on by today.
Welcome back. In another news, following a 45-day closure to restore the pavement of the 22-year-old Methow Valley State Airport runway, the Washington State Department of Transportation has reopened it following Phase 1 and Phase 2 of infrastructure updates. The Methow Airport is the largest of the 16 airports the DOT manages, serving airplanes weighing up to 30,000 pounds. Phase 3 of the upgrades is underway on the west ramp for additional pavement work, which is expected to be complete this August. Costs for the construction are split between the FAA's Airport Improvement Program and the WashDOT Aviation. Well, the voice of the Moses Lake Chiefs for the past 50 years, Mel Olson, has died at the age of 89. Olson was riding his bicycle inside the Harvest Manor Estates on Airway Drive in Moses Lake when he was struck by a pickup truck. According to the Grant County Sheriff's Office, Olson approached an intersection as a 2015 Chevrolet Silverado driven by Mario Fernandez Hinonez entered the same roadway. The two did not see each other and the Chevrolet struck the bicycle, throwing Olson off the bike. He was transported to a hospital with a serious head injury. That hospital, Samaritan Hospital in Moses Lake, where he died late Tuesday afternoon. Deputies say alcohol and drugs were not a factor in the collision and that Olson was wearing a helmet. He was inducted into the Washington chapter of the National Wrestling Hall of Fame in 2004 and the Inland Northwest Hall of Fame in 2013. The accident is under investigation and there are no charges at this time. Wenatchee attorney Charles Steinberg says he is the most qualified candidate for Chelan County Superior Court judge. The longtime Wenatchee area lawyer is running against Judge Kristen Ferreira, who was appointed by Governor Jay Inslee to fill the unexpired term of Judge Alicia Nakata. Steinberg commented on his campaign in an interview this morning on Wake Up Wenatchee Valley.
I believe people should select me for Chelan County Superior Court judge because experience matters. I've practiced law in the Valley for the past 24 years. representing Chelan County residents and businesses as their trusted legal attorney in all sorts of courts. I've done many trials and hearings, and I think it's very important to give the voters a choice, and I'd like them to log on to votesteinberg.com or make an inquiry on my Facebook page. Just make a choice and consider my credentials.
And you can watch the entire interview with Charles Steinberg on our website at ncwlife.com. Well, for the 37th year, the annual Lake Chelan Bachfest starts today, extending through Saturday, July 14th, with a number of classical, jazz, and pop concerts throughout the Lake Chelan Valley. The 10-day festival includes 21 concerts in total, from wineries to courtyards and churches. More than 100 musicians travel to the Chelan Valley each July to participate in the festival orchestra and chorus under the direction of Daniel Baldwin and Julie Cross. Bachfest is a family-friendly event, and you can find the full schedule at bachfest.org. You're watching the NCW Life Evening News. Coming up next, your sports update with Sean Lee in for Eric Granstrom tonight and our feature story. That and much more still to come on the NCW Life Evening News. Stay with us.
Eastern Washington. It's a great place to call home and a great time to own a home. It's the ideal place to lay down roots for your family and your future. Gisa Credit Union thinks Eastern Washington is a great place to own a home too. That's why we offer all kinds of home loans with personal attention every step of the way. We're your home. For home loans, we're Gisa Credit Union.
If you want to work in healthcare, choose the program that teaches the skills employers want. The Charter College Medical Assistant Program combines hands-on learning in the lab with convenient online learning, plus real-life experience with an externship. Classes start every 5 weeks, so you don't have to wait to launch your new career. Enroll with confidence, knowing Charter is institutionally accredited by the Accrediting Bureau of Health Education Schools, and be ready to work in less than a year. Charter College. We work to get you to work.
Stormy Mountain Brewing and local public house, featuring great family dining in downtown Chelan. We've got burgers, pub fare, and the best barbecue around. Try one of our award-winning sauces made fresh here in-house. So grab the whole gang and come on down. Stormy Mountain Brewing. Beer, barbecue, friends, and beer.
And now it's a sports update on the NCW Life channel.
Good evening, Wenatchee. I'm Sean Lee, filling in for Eric Granstrom tonight on the sports update. And in Mariners news, Cole Calhoun hit a 2-run homer. Garrett Richards pitched effectively into the 6th inning, and the Los Angeles Angels beat the Mariners 7-4 on Wednesday to snap Seattle's 8-game winning streak. Batting in the leadoff spot for only the 4th time this season, Calhoun had 3 hits and drove in 3 runs. Calhoun's towering homer in the 6th gave the Angels a 6-2 lead. He also had a single in the 4th inning for his first RBI. The Mariners had their chances, including a bases-loaded, no-outs situation in the 7th inning when trailing 6-3. After D. Gordon and Denard Span struck out, Gene Segura hit a broken bat flare that looked like it might drop behind second base and score 2 runs, but Angels second baseman David Fletcher made a leaping catch to end the inning. The Mariners struck out 15 times and left 8 men on base. The loss puts the Mariners a game and a half behind the Houston Astros, who won yesterday. The Mariners conclude their series with the Angels tonight at 7 p.m. In Apple Sox news, the Apple Sox, 10-13, wrapped up their 7-game homestand with a 5-2 victory over the Yakima Valley Pippins on Wednesday night at Paul Thomas Sr. Stadium. The Sox took 2 of 3 from the Pippins and won 4 of 7 in the homestand, thanks to a strong effort from the mound. Hunter Boyd, 2-1, allowed 2 runs over 6 innings to pick up the victory, and Dawson Day shut out the Pippins with 6 strikeouts over the final 3 frames to pick up his first save of the season. The Sox scored in the first inning for the second time in this series to begin the scoring. Joey Magro singled to center, Jacob Prater was hit by a pitch, and then Johnny Sage plated Magro with a single. Connor McCord fouled out on the third base side, but with no one covering home, Prater used some heads-up base running to dart home and score on the sacrifice fly. The Pippins got singular runs in the second and third innings to tie up the score. However, that was all they would get in the game. In the fifth, the Sox used a double steal attempt to take the lead. With Magro at third and Sage at first with 2 outs, Sage took off from the first during McCord's at bat, and halfway down the line, Magro took off from third and scored. Sage was able to get back to first safely, and the Sox took a 3-2 lead. The Apple Sox got some insurance in the 8th with 2 more runs, after Sage reached on a fielder's choice and McCord doubled. Taylor put down a bunt. The throw came home, but Sage slid in safely before it for the run. During Cody Darcy's at-bat, McCord was caught in a rundown between third base and home plate, but would score after the Pippins catcher airmailed the throw into left field. After getting Thursday off, the Apple Sox go on the road for the first time in 2 weeks. They'll face the Walla Walla Sweets for the first of 3 games on Friday, starting at 6:35 p.m.
Thank you, Sean. People of all ages made a stop at Pybus Public Market on Wednesday to participate in the 5th annual Cherry Pit Spit contest. Contestants were given 3 cherries each at the concourse with a section of the floor roped off for the competition. With professional tobacco spitters ineligible, a wide array of methods were used to get the pit down the course. First-timer Keith Kirkpatrick says he brought his previous experience spitting watermelon seeds to the competition.
Time for cherry pit spitting contest. Been reading about in the paper the events today, and so I told my wife Marilyn that I had won the watermelon seed spitting in college during Western Day or Western Week, and so I knew I could. I've practiced spitting cherry pits also.
In the house the other night.
The pit's a little bigger and rounder and rolls further, but I consciously tried to get it at the end of my tongue and maybe curl my tongue a little bit and then get a lot of wind.
I think that went out of bounds until he says it's a land.
I knew he had skill, so I expected him to do well.
So we're on our motorcycle, and we were actually planning to go to George to see some of their events, but I said, I want to do the cherry pit spitting. So didn't know what the traffic would be like going towards George, so we came here, and I'm glad I did.
And if you're curious about the top-notch spitters, we've compiled a video of a number of the participants. And we'll be back with a look at your North Central Washington weather forecast right after this.
Todd's a great boss. Sometimes he can be a little intense.
Adam, how about a lunchtime run?
I'd love to, Todd, but I gotta... Oh, Mr. Jones, you made it. I'm glad you can make it. You're really gonna love our lifetime warranty on all new Hondas. Let's walk and talk.
Oh, the running thing? It gets him hustling. I consider myself a great motivator.
So Pam, how's your mom doing?
She's okay. She's struggling. She'd like to stay in her house, and it's getting harder for her to do the daily chores.
What kinds of problems is she having?
Just basic house cleaning, you know, taking care of her house, yard work, taking care of her medicine.
Mm-hmm. It does sound exhausting.
It is very exhausting, and I always worry about her.
Aging and Adult Care can assist you or your loved one to remain comfortably and safely in their own home. Contact them today to start the conversation.
This is TV. This is TV Set Free. TV everywhere from Localtel sets you free to watch what you want, where you want. Catch your favorite networks, including live TV, ready to watch on any web-connected device for no extra charge. That's TV Set Free. Enjoy the extra value Localtel delivers with TV everywhere. Visit localtel.net and sign up today.
And welcome back to the NCW Life Evening News. Time now for a look at your North Central Washington weather forecast. But before we get to the details of the weather, let's give you another look at what's happening up in the Upper Valley right now, where a 100-acre fire is continuing to burn between Cashmere and Blewett Pass area. As I mentioned, it started at noon and has grown pretty rapidly throughout the afternoon. The good news is not much wind to fan that fire, but boy, it's plenty hot. And humidity is only at around 20%, make firefighting efforts very difficult that direction this afternoon. Remember, once again, keep it right here on our NCW Life website as well as our Facebook page, as we will update you on any information that we receive on this fire throughout the evening. Let's take a look at what we can expect now weather-wise. And cloud cover, not much of it this afternoon, just those scorching hot temperatures. It's by far the hottest day we've seen so far in 2018. Official high should top off somewhere around 94, maybe 95 degrees. For Friday, not much cloud cover either, but notice some white cloudiness to our east, and that's a cold front that will move through Friday into Friday night, and that will bring our temperatures down somewhat for highs on Friday into the upper 80s, and even cooler for our Saturday and Sunday. But don't let it bother you. We're going to see lots of sunshine, light wind this weekend with high temperatures very nice, around 85 on Saturday, and maybe even a little bit warmer than that on Sunday, because no clouds almost in the entire state of Washington, over into the panhandle of Oregon and parts of northwest Montana. Just very nice weather this weekend. As we mentioned, much lighter winds, and that's good news for almost all of us who been very sick of the wind the past few weeks. Let's take a look now at your quick lube and tune forecast. 65 the overnight low tonight. Isn't that nice? Sunny and cooler on Friday. I mentioned that cold front will move through late in the day. 89 your high for Friday, and then we'll feel the effects of that on Saturday with 83 our high, warming to 87 on both Sunday and Monday. And boy, the next part, first and middle part of next week look very nice as well. Sunshine with highs in the mid 80s. And that's going to do it for our newscast tonight. For more on these stories and other news from around North Central Washington, you can find us on Facebook or our website at ncwlife.com. And remember, if you see news happening, we would like to hear from you. You can send us an email at news@ncwlife.com or give us a call at 888-6295. Also, keep it right here on the NCW Life channel tomorrow morning for Wake Up Wenatchee Valley with host Dan Kuntz and News with Steve Hare. Thanks for joining us. Have a great night.
Hey there, Wenatchee. I'm Sean Lee, and I'm inviting you to check out the NCW Movie Guide to keep up on what movies are playing in our town.